Hello, friends. Today's episode is brought to you by From Within Records. Strike Force Fanzine issue 2.5 will be available exclusively at FYA 10. So if you're attending the fest, please make sure to stop by the From Within Records table and grab a copy while supplies last. Issue 3 will be available later this spring. If you're not following From Within Records on X, on Instagram, please go click that follow button to stay up to date on all the current news. And like I always say, please support From Within Records because they support us. If you want high quality merch for your band, for your business, please hit up my friends over at Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You can follow them on Instagram at Good Fortune Printing, or if you want to get in contact with them, please email them contact@goodfortuneprinting.com. You can thank me later. On today's episode, we had to track down our good friend Tyler Short. You all know him. He was on the podcast last week. But this is our episode talking about The Marvels, which was awesome. The podcast, not the movie. You'll hear us break it down. Like I always say, these are some of my most favorite podcasts. I love the MCU. All the ups and the downs. We're riding this train to the end. But the MCU is fun. It's been a wild ride lately, but the fact that these things come out, good or bad, I know that at the end of it, there's going to be a podcast with Tyler and I, and those are things that I look forward to most. It's fun. I love talking to Tyler. It was a great episode. We go pretty deep, but it was fun. I love Tyler. The Marvels was okay. The critics didn't give it a fair shake. I feel like the MCU's getting the DC treatment before, when any DC movie would drop and they would just get trashed. And Suicide Squad 2, perfect example. The movie wasn't that bad, but it got trashed. So rough times, but it's just gonna make the good times that are coming in the future that much more sweet. We got the X-Men coming, Fantastic Four, hopefully some Daredevil. Who knows what's going on with the Daredevil. But yeah, it's not always going to be bad. So just hang in there with us, and it'll just be another fun ride. But just want to touch on the very obvious thing. Obviously, I'm not in my normal setup. I'm actually in Bogota, Colombia, for a hardcore festival, which is insane. We just spent the day walking around Bogota, took a picture with a llama. It was insane. I'm out here hanging out with Jeff from Feet First Productions. Shout out Feet First. They do amazing work. We got Carl Gunhouse rolling in tomorrow. Cut Down Never Again. Tsunami's in town. It's just a bunch of great people, and so far it's a great time. It's only halfway through the first day. I'm literally recording this intro, and then we're going to go to the pre-show. So, but yeah, so that's why I'm not in my normal setup. Let me give you a quick view from my hotel room. So flipping the camera. But, that's just what it looks like out there. Nothing too crazy. But this will be home for the next couple days, and then we'll fly back to America, and then I can tell you all about the trip. But please, strap in, enjoy this conversation, and without further ado, welcome Tyler Short to the show. Recording. Welcome back, Tyler Short. It feels like we just did this.
Yeah, we did just do this.
Yeah.
Is this the shortest between two episodes we've ever done?
Yes, 100%, because I don't think there's ever been an overlap like that before.
So
We've done two like a month apart, I think, but I don't think we've ever done them like literally like a week apart.
Yeah, literally a week apart. No, yeah, but I just need to confess. Normally, I go to the Korean theater and watch the movie in 4D, but I took some time getting to the theater, and the Korean theater just yeeted the Marvels out of the 4D. So super fast. Like it wasn't there that long. So I just opted to go to the theater that's around the corner from my house. It's connected to this mall, and it's a really nice theater, super low key. Like it's a giant theater, but nobody goes there. It's insane. And I honestly wonder how they stay in business, because it's such a big space, and it's like you can always go find available seats. Like it's not like nothing to be stressed about. It's pretty weird, but I went there.
We went to the theater we always go to, but last night when we went and saw Thanksgiving, we went to this theater like way out in like the rich end of town.
Okay.
That I hadn't been to in years, and when I got our tickets, I was like, holy shit, there's like no fucking seats in this theater. Like this must be like the smallest theater like in the whole complex.
Uh-huh.
And then we get in and I'm like, oh no, they've done the thing where they make the be like no seats anymore.
Oh, okay, for sure. Because it was so close.
There's like 6 rows and there's not a bad seat in the room.
Uh-huh.
But there's only like 6 rows of seats, and there was a tray table on the seats. It was crazy. I've been to so many of the fancy recliner movie theaters, but I've never been to one that had a fucking tray table on it too, which is crazy.
Yeah, I've thought about because the comic book shop that I go to is literally connected to this movie theater. That's a dine-in where you can go and have like a full meal while watching a movie, and that's just never really been my thing, because I'm trying to.
Is that the Alamo Drafthouse, or is it a different one?
No, this is an AMC. It's called an AMC Dine-In.
Huh.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but there's just like too much going on. I don't want like a server coming over and like if I'm eating like fettuccine or something, I'm gonna miss something. Yeah, it's probably important. Yeah. So I'm just like, no, it's like I just need to focus, and I'll have dinner before or after.
Yeah, no, I feel that when people sneak like whole ass meals into movies, I'm like, that's so much. It's so much work.
Yeah, but the Korean theater, I think it's awesome that at their snack bar, right? Because they offer the multiple flavors of popcorn, your standard hot dog, pretzel, nachos, whatever. But then they also offer pot stickers or mandu in Korean. So I'm just like, okay,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty fun.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
Keep that culture. But okay, let's get into the movie, because if I'm gonna be honest, I was so just like kind of weary going in, because
expectations for this were non-existent.
Yeah, because so much bad press. But if I'm being honest, I think
it was fun.
I think the movie didn't get a fair shake. If I'm being honest, I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it was good. So I'm just kind of like in the middle.
I think it was fun. I think that was it. There was a lot there that I thought was awesome. It also had no chance whatsoever at success with how much drama is around the fucking MCU or whatever the fuck these people call this stuff when they hate it. But I don't know. There's like I talked to my coworker who I talked about these movies, and she was pretty lukewarm on it. And most of her criticisms, I was like, in things that she didn't like about it, I was like, I just really just don't care about that stuff. So like I was fine with the movie. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun. I thought the action was fun in it. One
thing, just hearing from a lot of casuals, because it's been so long since like the first Captain Marvel, they weren't sure if they needed to watch anything beforehand because it was called the Marvels. But when you sit back and think about it, like the prerequisite to watch or to like have like knowledge going in, like you had to watch WandaVision, right?
Yep.
You had to watch Captain Marvel, and you had to watch
Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel, which I'm like, for us, that's fine. Like we're gonna do it regardless.
Already did it.
Yeah, we're up to date. But Is that asking a lot for people who are casual?
You see, I think it is asking a lot. So I think this movie is for the fans and for the heads. And if you don't care to watch, I mean, in my opinion, two of the better Marvel shows in WandaVision and Miss Marvel, like, they're good. They're really fun and well acted, and the story in WandaVision is very cool, and the story in Miss Marvel is super grounded, and I don't know. It's a unique thing that Marvel did that isn't just the same cookie cutter bullshit. Like, Miss Marvel was a different thing than they'd done in all the other shows and movies. And WandaVision was too. These were like the more risky, fun things. And even though Captain Marvel followed some of the same, formula of other Marvel films, I get some of the criticisms of it, but I liked the twist, and Captain Marvel of the Skrulls weren't kind of victims in the whole thing. And I liked it because they cast Ben Mendelsohn and we all expected him to be the villain because he is in everything else he's in. That was awesome. That was smart. That was a smart play they did to cast him as the villain, in quotes. And then everyone expects him to be this evil guy. And then in the end, he's not. That was cool. That was cool subversion. And I don't know. I get that people want these things to be what they expect it to be and what they desire it to be. But at the same time, like, that's so fucking boring, dude. If I went in and knew how every movie I watched ended before I went into it, that is just so boring. That is just so boring. Like, we went and saw that Eli Roth movie, and me and Ashton both thought the same thing. The same person was going to be the killer. We were both wrong.
Mm-hmm. Something I want to ask you. Okay, so you mentioned the MCU, right? There's like that term that's being pushed, and one thing that I was really curious about is the villain in the movie, Dar-Ben. Comic book, he's a male, right? He's a guy. Movie, gender swapped, and I couldn't find a real reason why they gender swapped. And I've asked, and people have been like, what does it matter? Like, why do you care? And I'm like, well, if it does, like, why does it matter? Like, why did they change him?
Why did they change it in the first place?
Yeah. And
yeah, that to me is a little, that is something that I don't really understand why I mean, honestly, it could have been kind of cowardice on Disney or the casting or director to not want to have a man just beating the living shit out of three women in a movie. Like, maybe it, optics wise, it's not going to be that fun to watch a male villain beat the living crap out of a teenage girl. So, like, possibly just as far as optics goes, maybe they also, I mean, it could be that literally could just be, it could be sexism that they didn't think people would believe that a man would have that much trouble with.
Yeah.
With these girls. So, like, it was a way to, the subconscious misogyny of, well, it's a female centered flick, so we'll have a female centered villain because that way it's all even. And it's like, you realize what you're doing right now. If you're like leveling the playing field across gender lines, you're actually tokenizing it at the same time. Which is that's my issue with all this fucking like diversity and inclusion is when it's tokenizing, and it's not from a place of I don't know. That's why Miss Marvel was so good, is because it was actual like Pakistani people in the production to tell the story of family.
Yeah. I think it's just hard for Captain Marvel for how strong she is. I feel like she suffers just like Superman does. It's just like, because
OP.
In reality, she should have been able to kill Dar-Ben, and the movie would have been like, there wouldn't have been a movie. So it's hard. So I do understand that.
The Superman comparison, though, Dar-Ben is a great villain for how she goes up against Captain Marvel in this film, and on accident to a certain extent, that because Captain Marvel doesn't get to just go in and whoop Dar-Benn's ass alone.
Mhm.
She has to do it with these two other people because
They're all tied by
they
their
all
powers.
got tied,
Mhm.
which is a hindrance.
Yeah.
It's a hindrance through a lot of the movie because it means that she's now responsible for this high school girl who could get killed way easier. And on what is Lex Luthor? What do Brainiac? What do a lot of Superman's like greatest villains do?
They go
to beat
after
him?
his.
Or they just put random people in danger.
Yeah. They don't go after him. They go. Yeah. Mhm.
He can't just let a building fall on people. He's got to go catch that building, and then you get to go fuck off and do your shit. So like that is, I think, a smart way of nerfing Captain Marvel's abilities is to turn her into the Red fucking Cross rather than or FEMA instead of being able to just be like the badass bitch. And dude, straight up, like anybody on this MCU fucking, flag waving that they want to stake and die on the hill of, this movie did not do that shit. There was no like there was a, black girl magic was a throwaway line joke. If you want to say that was corny and stupid and shouldn't have been in the movie, I could maybe give you that, but also I'm not going to be the guy who says that looking like I do. But I could understand that criticism, but at the same time, there was no like fuck men moment.
No.
In this movie.
No. Watching it, I didn't feel like they tried to like force any of that because I have
and
felt
they
like
did
that
in the first one.
Yeah,
they did in the first one.
No, I felt that before.
Was fun. I thought that was fun because at the same time, I understand in the position of power I am in that a Captain Marvel movie making fun of men being misogynist or stupid or underestimating women doesn't threaten my position in the world whatsoever fucking ever. It's secured for the rest of my life, most likely, that my visual representation will be on top of the hill for the next duration of my lifetime. I don't think it's getting budged out, so I can think that's fun and fine, and I don't feel threatened by that. I don't think it's right that I'm not able to be knocked off the top of the hill, but at the same time, like anybody who's looking at that and thinking like, oh, they hate all men and blah 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 blah, it's like, okay, well, way to play the fucking victim, snowflake. Like, what a fucking pussy move. It does not fucking affect us whatsoever.
No. Yeah. Like I said,
and this movie didn't do it.
No.
And this movie didn't do any of that shit. So any of these motherfuckers complaining about that stuff, go fucking kick rocks and look somewhere else because it's not in this movie and you wanted it to be so fucking bad.
Okay. So I want to talk about the movie. And I feel like, I don't know if I was going crazy, and I'm not trying to like be like nitpicky, but I was like, wait, like were these like continuity errors? So like when we get to these points of the movie, I want to bring them up and see what.
There is one part of this movie that took me out.
Okay.
And I had that Eternals moment where I'm the girl doing the math, the meme.
Okay.
There was one moment where I went,
okay.
You know what? I'll just let this fucking go.
I'm curious. All right. Well, when we get there, bring it up, obviously. But I love how the movie opens up with Kamala Khan just nerding out, and I just love how she's such a fangirl of Captain Marvel, because it's so strange to think like, okay, there's this teenager, right, and she's so obsessed with this superhero. I was all right, superheroes are in their universe, and she is like just entered their world, right? Because she's got these bracelets. She now she has these powers, and just the thought of like, oh, holy shit! Like this person that I was obsessing over before I had these powers, was just like this, like this thing that I've been like craving. But now that I have these powers, I'm orbiting her now. It's like there could be a moment where we like meet and we could be on a team, and it happens. But I just love that whole first. Like part of the movie
book section. It was awesome. Yeah. I love that they included her comic book writing in it. And dude, I think legit, if anybody's listening to this podcast because they just like your podcast, like the podcast we do together, and they don't really care about the Marvel stuff, or they watch every now here and there on it, the Miss Marvel show is worth fucking watching. It does an immense amount of world building for this place. that they have created, especially just on the grounds of like how it affects normal, regular people. Because for a significant amount of the show, she is more or less normal, regular. Like she doesn't really know what she's doing or have her powers even understood.
And you get reminded that very early on in the movie when they're all switching places, she's like the least capable, right? When she's like thrown in the fire, because when it's Captain Marvel and Photon, and even Photon, she's still like so confused.
She hasn't really fought too much.
Yeah, she's just kind of phasing through stuff and kind of letting people beat themselves up, which I love.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I legit very few complaints or nitpicks for this movie, and even the people who said it was too short, I thought it was fine. I thought it was perfectly paced. They could have gone more on the villain. I didn't think they really needed to, though. Yeah,
the one thing that I didn't like, which we'll get to, is a part of the ending, and I'll bring it up once we get there. But that I just love this, just the introduction of everybody, right? And Nick Fury is obviously like the comment there that's tying everybody together. And I think after this movie, I hate Nick Fury even more.
Yeah, he fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah, because the whole time, the whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm thinking about Secret Wars. Not Secret Invasion, excuse me.
Secret Invasion, yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, end of Secret Invasion. The crazy shit popped up with the Skrulls. Nick Fury is supposed to be finding them a home, but it seems like he's just dicking around on this space station, not even looking for a home for the Skrulls. And even there's the conflict with the Skrulls, which we'll get to, and he's still he's just acts like he has nothing to do with them, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah, no, he's. I mean, honestly, if they are accidentally doing anything, they are correctly exemplifying American involvement in global conflict and expanding that into universal conflict, and how we will just start some shit and then kind of walk away.
Yeah, just be like, oh,
not be any part of putting them together.
Yeah, it's strange, and I'm hoping that, like, all right, maybe like it's going to build to something meaningful in the future, because you got to think Nick Fury was so integral to this whole thing coming together with like building the Avengers and having so much information. I just don't understand how he's just become this weird, like, character that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's really, well, I mean, we talked about this the other day. Most people's bosses don't work as hard as they do.
Yeah, they're relying on their employees to do all the heavy lifting, and they just take all the credit.
He's the manager, and he doesn't know what he's doing. You know what? I've had a bunch of those.
And I can't remember if it cuts to Captain Marvel next or Photon. So
I think it cuts to her being I can't remember, because she's like chilling on her ship by herself. Also, Brie Larson's in insane shape for this movie.
I have a bone to pick with her. I'm not a fan, if I'm being honest.
Really? She looks crazy in this movie. It's nuts. I mean, I guess she could have gotten bigger, but like, she is like, her abs are crazy in this movie. It's nuts.
Yeah. She seems like super fit. Like, she's a great visually for Captain Marvel, but I think her acting is terrible.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much Brie Larson acts anymore. I've seen her in like a bunch, like several movies, and she kind of seems like she's doing like the Rock thing or the Tom Cruise thing or
where they kind of play the same character in every movie.
And that's, you're like, I know I hear this a lot, like advice people give actors, like, when you're cast in a movie, remember that you were cast in the movie because you're you, and you should play the character how you would do it, because that's what they're expecting. So like when you get freaks like Jared Leto coming in to like meta or live the role or do anything like that, it's like, well, you kind of like somebody saw something in you and wanted you to do this. They didn't want to just like have you just like fly off the handle and do something that like doesn't make sense for you. But at a certain point, some people really actually have to play a character too, and you can't just play yourself in everything.
Yeah.
So I can see that criticism, and I mean, again, like I think I don't think she's the most important person in this story.
No, and it's so weird too, because I feel like they just built her up, and it's just like I just don't feel like she's like kind of like lived up to the hype.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I think that she's an outsized figure in this Marvel universe who I think was meant to mean more. And I think that also like her getting like taken out of some of the movies that she was supposed to be in.
Oh, really?
In,
Which ones? I can't even think.
I think she was supposed to be in the first Avengers that went after after her movie.
Oh, okay.
I think
Got
she
it.
was supposed to show up in Infinity War 2 and got like written out. And I think she suffers from just lack of character development in her character. Like, I mean, what they do with her character in the first movie and this one, I think it works for me, but she maybe doesn't like, I like the character growth. I may not like or believe it from Brie Larson
100%.
as much as it really seems like it seems like she benefits from the performance of those around her more than I think they benefit from her performance. Because the girl who plays Monica is great in this.
Yeah, she's awesome. I think she might be my favorite person in this movie.
Kamala is my favorite. I
Okay.
think she's so funny.
Mhm.
I think almost every single one of her lines landed with me and made me laugh, even if it was stupid. But yeah, so then it cuts to when we see Monica, it's her checking out that or wait, no, is Captain Marvel goes down. We see Dar-Benn find the bracelet.
Yeah, the other bracelet. Mm-hmm.
And then Captain Marvel goes to check out that planet. And while Captain Marvel is there, that's when Monica touches the thing.
Yeah, because she's on that spacewalk.
Yeah, because Monica gets thrown into Carol's fight.
Mm-hmm. No.
Carol gets thrown.
Yeah. It's like
Carol
a whole
gets
circle.
thrown into Kamala's room.
Kamala goes to the
and
space.
Kamala gets thrown into space. And dude, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. The trailer's fucking great job. Great job of having everything that happens in the trailer that gives anything away being the first 10 minutes of the movie.
You know, surprisingly, I didn't watch any trailers.
I saw the trailer several times because of just going to the movies so much the past few months. So I got more fill of the Marvels trailer than I had wanted. But after 10 minutes into the movie, I went, okay, there it is. I'm out. I'm spent. I don't know anything else that happened. I'm pretty shocked, honestly, that all of the things they showed me in the trailer are already done.
Yeah.
Like there's like a couple like frames from later in the movie. Like in like I think a shot of the final fight. But other than that, the trailer, all of it is the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Which when Marvel does that, thank you.
I hate when I'm watching a movie and I'm like, oh shit, we're at the end of the movie and this is in the trailer. This is weird.
Yeah. Well, I hate when I'm watching a movie and I'm like a third of the way through the movie and I go, yeah, okay. The trailer told me all this was gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like this all tracks, and also like sometimes I hate watching.
I think I know where it's gonna happen the next half of the movie. Too.
Yeah, but I hate watching trailers when I'm like when I like a scene from the trailer and I'm expecting it in the movie, but it got cut
and it doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's like wait, where was that one scene that I've been expecting? I've been waiting the whole time. But
sometimes that's fun if. For a subversion, especially if you get something better, or it not being there, tricks you in a way that leads you on to a headspace that is a better twist. But it does suck when they put like the coolest scene in the trailer and then that doesn't happen in the movie, and you're like, damn, that was the coolest scene. Now it's not even in the movie.
One thing that I thought was really cool was Kamala Khan kind of graduating to the big screen, because we normally don't see that, right? Because when you think about
Monica too.
Well, yeah.
She hadn't shown up, correct? She hadn't shown up in any of
she was a kid, but I don't really count
that.
No,
that actress, yeah.
But I'm just talking about like main character wise. No diss to Photon, love Photon, but because when I think back to like Daredevil and how Charlie Cox has been, and this is like season 1 Daredevil, and he's been calling for an appearance on the big screen, which I think he well deserves. But nobody else, none of the superheroes from Netflix to now has made it.
I mean, well, Matt Murdock's made it, but Daredevil hasn't.
Yeah.
Which is, it's fine, but it's not amazing. Did you hear fucking Born Again got canceled?
I didn't know it got canceled. I know that it had changed hands so many times. And obviously with the strike, that didn't do it any favors.
I heard it's canceled. I'm wondering if they're just going to do a movie.
I would like that, because then it kind of like propels them to this to like a and also this is not a diss to the TV series. I love the TV series, but I think it elevates them and puts them in that movie universe. And now it's like, okay, like he's actually like a bigger deal, even though he already is a big deal.
I would much rather have the TV series, I think, just because I think he's such a strong character and he's such a fucking good actor.
Yeah, and just story, right? Because
yes, to have this longer story, but knowing a movie is way less production time to do a movie rather than a TV series, I'm like, I'll settle for either, dude. I don't care. I just want Daredevil back, man.
Yeah, and I don't understand why it's so complicated. Because
I mean, I guess you're right. The strike probably really did put the brakes on a lot of this shit.
Yeah, and I don't know if because they have to find that balance, right? Because Daredevil was so dark, and they had so much more leeway with that with Netflix, because Netflix isn't a family platform.
No,
but when you look at Disney, it's like family oriented and
yeah, but they're moving so much further away from it, especially with this stuff. I think they're incorporating so much more blood and gore into this. Did you hear they're doing a full color version of Werewolf by Night?
Yeah, we talked about it. It's out already.
Oh, it is alright.
Yeah, came out October 20th, if I remember correctly.
Okay, I have only gone to Disney Plus to watch Loki.
Same.
We still haven't watched Ahsoka. We haven't watched. I don't know.
Isn't Star Wars dead? Nobody cares about Star Wars anymore?
I still like Star Wars. Andor was fucking amazing, dude. Andor was the best Star Wars, some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen. I think it might be my favorite thing.
Really?
That they've ever done in Star Wars. Space Kalashnikovs, dude. It was very cool.
Yeah, I tried to keep up with Star Wars, but it just got to a point where I just didn't care.
Andor's good.
I just wasn't as invested. I think like the last thing I might have watched was like Mandalorian season 2.
Mandalorian season 3 is fine, but it moves more into.
There's a season 3. I didn't know there's a season 3. So yeah, I'm so far behind.
It moves more into like a serialized story where like every few episodes tells a story and then it moves on to a different story. It doesn't have like a big overarching thing in it as much. It's cool. There's a few very cool parts. I think it's probably hard to watch now, especially after the stuff about Lizzo came out, because she's in it.
Good old Lizzo.
Yeah. Crazy when you find out that the people who like put themselves on the progressive like platform of we are doing everything right and all this fucking performative ass shit, and then ends up being monsters.
Yeah. I had a buddy who did merch for her on that tour.
Really?
Yeah. But I never asked him about it because I was like, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure that job is so disconnected from the I'm sure that level of exploitation of doing merch is the same across the board for any artist. But the level of exploitation she was doing to people, she actively had like control of their lives in her hand. I mean, some people just let any level of power corrupt them.
And that's sad too, because I can understand why people do it, but it's just so weird that they let shit corrupt them.
Yeah, I mean, it's shit.
Yeah.
The only power I want is the power to make people mosh.
I think you have that power.
That's all I want. I'm good then. I don't need any more power.
That's an interesting power. Okay.
That's it. I just want to get people to mosh. I always think of I can't remember, we were when we went out to eat after that Pain of Truth show, we were all sitting around telling stories, and we were talking about This Is Hardcores, and the Rival Mob came up, and I was like, was that the year that the singer from the Rival Mob said, "It's my birthday and all I want is for you to mosh"? And that's such a cool thing to say.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That rocks. That's a great way to open a set. Fantastic. No notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Marvels. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so they're all switching places now, and
yeah,
all of that shit looked great.
Yeah, 100%. I think the best shots from that sequence was anytime they were in Kamala's house.
Yes, it looks awesome, and her family is so fucking funny.
Yeah, her brother.
Her brother rocks, dude. He has some of the best lines in the movie.
Yeah, and
it is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
they are destroying their house too.
And can you imagine, right? Just being a normal family and not really understanding what your daughter is now a part of.
Yeah.
And you're trying to scold her. She's an actual superhero, and you're getting these other superheroes, blipping in and out of your house, and these guys are, blipping, and this crazy cat, alien cat. Wow.
Yeah, no, that was, dude. So the Flurkin eating the people and Kamala's reaction, that was in the trailer. It still hit in the movie. It was awesome, dude. I thought her fighting looked awesome.
And this is me trying not to let my
disbelief creep in.
No, not disbelief, but just because I love Kamala Khan, the character.
Mm-hmm.
I was obsessed with her comic book. I love that she was the main character in the Avengers game that came out years ago. But then when I see what they're doing with her in the MCU, and I get it, right? This was when she came out, this was a time when they couldn't use
mutant stuff.
Yeah. And this is when they're also getting away from Inhumans, because technically she's like an Inhuman. Mm-hmm. And she's, her actual powers is like Reed Richards. She stretches, she gets does that. So when I'm seeing now she's light powers, I'm like, all right, I'm trying to just accept it and get used to it. It's not terrible, but I'm just like, man, imagine. I feel like she'd be way cooler if she could stretch and get big and do her normal stuff.
Yeah, I just thought all of the hopping and the sliding that she does and the shields and stuff, I thought it all looked really cool, and I thought her fight choreography was very well done.
100%. Yeah, and for her skills for being a newer superhero, mm-hmm. It is believable the way she fights.
Yeah,
because even
she's kind of fucking up. But
yeah, exactly.
Also she's kind of getting by.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's really cool, and the fight scene in so there's. While that fight scene goes on for so fucking long too.
Yeah, I was wondering how it was going to end, if I'm being honest,
because it stretches into that fight. Doesn't that fight scene stretch into? No, that's different. Okay, I'm because there's two main switch around fight scenes, and this is the first one. It just takes place on the moon, which watching that I was like, if we're gonna talk one level of nitpick gripe that I had, where I was just like, you know what, whatever, I don't even care. It appeared to be no atmosphere on that planet that they're fighting on, where the bracelet got found.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like the moon.
Yeah, I don't know where they're supposed to be, to be honest.
But you know what? Let's just keep on rolling. And But yeah, so that fight's taking place on. Is it taking place there and the ship
No, I thought it was just they had moved on. It was
and
just
her house?
Kamala's house, the ship, and then the space station.
Because I'm trying to think. In the space station, do people end up getting blipped onto the space station too?
Yeah, because remember Kamala throws Fury their gun because she gives him the alien gun.
You see, I thought that was happening. No, never mind. Because I'm thinking about how did they both end up on the ship with Dar-Ben? See, this is why I wanted to go see the movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Because they both end up on the ship with Dar-Ben before they go to the Skrull planet, don't they?
Yeah. Because they end up going to the ship because Captain Marvel she realizes, okay, she goes to the moon, right, and realizes like, oh shit, like they're not here, so she transfers to their ship from there. Because remember,
she transfers to the ship from there.
Mm-hmm.
But how do Kamala and Monica end up on Dar-Ben's ship?
Because they were blipping. They switched.
But how do they both end up there? Though is the thing I can't remember. Does Captain Marvel make it there and then get blipped out? That's what it is.
Yeah, because she
Captain Marvel's there with is she there with Kamala?
No,
and then Captain Marvel gets blipped away and Monica shows up. I think that's how the order it goes in. Because this was my gripe.
Okay.
Is Captain Monica and Kamala end up on Dar-Ben's ship without Carol, and Carol flies all the way there. And that was my math moment where I went, how the fuck she get there that fast? But you know what? Whatever. We're just going to keep on rolling. It's a movie. That was my one moment where I was like, I've seen how fast Carol Danvers can fly. It's pretty fast. I don't think she could have made it there from Earth that fast. You know what? Whatever. We'll just let this one go. Because it was a good scene. It was a good scene. And yeah, so because then after that they end up on this Skrull planet, right?
Well, Dar-Ben, because Dar-Ben goes there first. Because remember,
she goes to the Skrull planet.
Yeah,
because, first.
Yeah, she has the meeting with the Skrulls. Remember, she's telling.
I thought they have a moment of peace before she goes to the Skrull planet because. Captain Marvel and them, don't they all fly to that Skrull planet together?
Yeah, that was right before the attack happened.
See, I'm trying to remember the order of events right now.
Yeah, because
there's a moment after, because after the house fight is when Monica learns how to fly and whatnot, right?
Yeah, because Kamala's falling and Fury's like, yo, like you have to do it right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to remember how. So after that, they all end up on Dar-Ben's ship, and that whole house fight takes place before they go to the Skrull place. Which, when they show that Skrull like home world or whatever, I leaned over to Ash and I went, "A skate park looks fucking sick," because it looked like a fucking modern skate park.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
But yeah, Dar-Ben goes there to try to tell them like, hey, let us, join forces. Like, there's going to be room for you on Hala. And they were going to go with it. And they were like, we need a home. So like, we're down. And then Dar-Ben leaves. Because I think that happens before they go to Dar-Ben's ship, if that makes sense.
I thought they were already gone. I thought they all end up there before that house fight scene is over.
No, it's afterwards because once they realize what Dar-Ben's doing, they're like, oh shit, we have to go like talk to the Skrulls and let them know like not to join with Dar-Benn.
Yeah, and isn't that where that's because and that happens before Dar-Benn goes to the Skrull world.
No, because Dar-Benn goes there twice. They show her they're having the meeting, and then because by then she already has the bracelet,
Mm-hmm.
and then she leaves, and then the second time you see
And
Dar-Benn,
then she comes back to do the end of Spaceballs, which that's the end of Spaceballs.
I've never seen Spaceballs, so
You never seen Spaceballs? You're
Mm-mm.
fucking crazy.
I'm not really a movie guy. What? You should
What
know
does that
this.
mean? You're not really a movie guy.
It's not really. I watch movies here and there, but I'm not some film buff.
I mean, Spaceballs is a stupid comedy. Well, I guess if you're out on Star Wars, maybe you don't care for a Star Wars parody movie from the 80s.
You know who really likes Spaceballs is your homie Elon Musk.
Not my homie. and he shouldn't like Spaceballs. He's the villain in Spaceballs.
You know, I don't want to get too deep on Elon Musk, but anyways, the second time that she is there is to fight, because she's like, oh, she tells the Skrulls like, oh, like you sent Captain Marvel to attack us, like you betrayed us, like we gave you a chance, and now we're gonna take your planet, or we're gonna take your atmosphere from your planet.
Okay. Yeah, you see, this is why I kind of wanted to see it again, because I couldn't remember the order of events from that, because I know after that is when they then all travel to the singing planet.
That was terrible.
I thought it was fun.
It was terrible. I'm like, that scene was supposed to be longer. I wish it was shorter.
It was just the perfect length for me.
It was terrible, and like, oh my god! And I
thought it was funny. I thought it was funny all for the payoff of when she's talking to the prince, and he speaks normal English, and they say, "Wait, you can talk without singing?" And she goes, "Yeah, he's bilingual."
Yeah, and what was the point? That was so pointless. Like, I get it, okay, but they needed to include that for Dar-Benn to get water, but there's another planet that is greatly covered in water. They didn't
want ours.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah, but this one was even more.
Yeah, but how much cooler would have been if they would have, if Dar-Benn would have went to Earth to try to steal the water? How much they could have tied in someone else. We could have had, okay, well, there was a cameo from another superhero, but it was for like 2 seconds and they didn't really do anything. But can you imagine they go to Earth? Oh, we're gonna steal Earth's water. Spider-Man shows up.
There's one guy who's gonna be really mad about that. Yeah, no, I mean, well, also though she succeeds basically in taking the water, and she can't do that in
because
Earth.
Yeah, that's true. But I just hated that scene. So I'm like, what do we? Because first of all, I'm like, okay, this movie is like okay so far, but I'm like, we're going into a musical. This isn't what I want to see.
You see, that's the thing is, I didn't have any expectation of what I wanted to see, nor did I care what I saw. So when it did funny, silly things like that, I was like, you know what, this all works for me. This movie I don't think is supposed to be taken so serious. This movie did not take itself nearly as seriously as Captain Marvel did, and I think that's it. I think it benefited so much from that. I think it had more heart, and it had more emotion, even if it didn't come from Carol's character. It came from Monica and Kamala's character. I think they had the heart and they had the enthusiasm and emotion, and rubbed off on Carol's character as the movie went on. And I don't know, I liked the fun, silly shit like that, because I do think that the first Captain Marvel took itself way too fucking seriously. To the extent where at times it felt forced. It felt like I was being forced to care about this character that was, kind of a jerk. And I think that shit played into all the accusations of Mary Sue and and whatnot that people gave that movie. And I thought this one didn't. I thought this one showed every character being vulnerable in ways, and having weaknesses, and not being able to. I don't know. I thought it was good. I thought that part was fine. I thought that part was fine because at a certain point, a movie that is about what Captain Marvel is about, which is, a disruption. I mean, again, we talk about Nick Fury going in and fucking with people's lives, and then just kind of being like, "Oh, well, good luck with that," and leaving. That is what Captain Marvel did to Hala. She went, she thought she was doing the right thing. She completely destabilized the country. And then what do you know? A fucking religious extremist takes control of the situation there, because those people are way more willing to fight and die for something than people who just kind of want to get back to their normal lives. So, I mean, everybody there is a victim of Dar-Benn's lust for vengeance, and also the fact that there's so much people just don't get along. People have this refusal to acquiesce to other people's desires or needs, and we fight and we war about things that are so fucking trivial, or resources that are so fucking finite, rather than looking for a solution that doesn't kill our fucking planet. And I thought Dar-Benn represented a very real threat of, we're going to, war until the planet's dead, and then we'll just go somewhere else and steal their shit so that we can revive our planet, so we can keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, we're literally doing that in real life right now.
Yeah. So it's that's the thing. It's a lot my coworker complaining about Dar-Benn and they're not developing her character. I was like, her character was perfectly developed. Her character made perfect sense to me, because I just see her representing so many things in the regular world that I live in.
Yeah.
She's not the important thing. She's a force of nature, of the death drive towards human extinction that we all have inside us, and we should all resist at all costs. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but it's also so much of how society just teeters on the edge of a knife, and Captain Marvel just came over and just pushed it off. And I don't know, I thought the singing was fine to make levity of the very, very war crimey movie that we watched.
Yeah, but she has this story. Oh, I had to do him a favor, whatever. It's just okay, there's this whole secretive thing. This is so pointless. If it was such a small thing, I feel like they could have just brought Dar-Benn to another planet with water and made it more important. Because it seemed like it was this just cheap thing, or maybe I don't know if the director was a fan of the comic book from 2014 where the fucking planet debuted and she just wanted to include that, or what. But it just seemed just very pointless.
I think they just wanted an easy planet to kill that wouldn't have as much
resistance.
Well, wouldn't have as much resistance, and wouldn't have as much of a impact on other stories. Can
you imagine? I don't even remember, but years ago they were trying to push this Peter Parker, Carol Danvers relationship thing. They were supposed to be in love in a thing in the MCU. Yeah. Can you imagine? How
old of a Peter Parker?
Tom Holland. That Peter Parker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's way too old for him.
He's 18, right?
Yeah, but that's some grooming shit.
It's not grooming. She didn't meet him when he was 17. I don't know how it was all going to work, but I just remember that was a thing that they were talking about. And I was like, this is weird.
Tom Holland's Peter Parker is 17 in the universe.
But can you imagine MJ versus Captain Marvel?
I mean, MJ already pretty much just fucked all of the time anyway. So.
I'm just that whole planet thing. I was just like, this is
Yeah, no, that's weird. I do wish there was more relationship, and I wish they represented that stuff rather than it being shoehorned into the Eternals to where we get the first Disney sex scene that is just very uncomfortable and weird. I do wish there was like love and emotion in these movies more than just like through friendship. I wish romantic love was more represented. It's only in the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
Yeah, think about how Jessica Jones, she's like hooking up and doing crazy stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it's fine.
Jessica Jones out here breaking beds and just everybody else is just a virgin. It's
She-Hulk. It's like,
oh yeah, I guess no, She-Hulk got busy.
yeah, but they can take it to the big screen.
Yeah, she fucked Matt Murdock.
Yeah, shout out my boy.
Yeah, he got it in. That's good. Good for him.
Okay, but this and okay, Darban, I think is an idiot because long term, do you think you're just gonna go around stealing planets? Because obviously, the atmosphere, the water that you're stealing, that's a finite resource. It's not infinite. So what you're just gonna be conquering other planets to save yours? Like, I didn't really like that game plan, and like the whole time I was like, I don't buy this.
I don't like that game plan, and you know what? I don't like that game plan in the real world either.
Well, that's why we're trying to leave. That's why allegedly we're going to Mars, but people on the other side of the ice. Don't worry, the other people on the other side of the ice wall, they're going to come and show us the truth, and we'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
From real Asgard, there's an Asgard on the other side of the ice wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, for real though. You don't like that game plan? I don't like that game plan either. I don't like that game plan when Russia's doing it. I don't like that game plan when Israel's doing it.
What was the movie? What was the movie with Matt Damon? Where he had to go and grow potatoes.
Oh, fuck. The Martian.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that. I heard it's good though.
No, it's really good. I ain't trying to live like that. There's no internet up on Mars.
Yeah, no, that sounds miserable. That's not gonna work.
No. Well,
it's not gonna work. We should probably just take care of the planet we have and stop killing each other for it.
It's too late, dude. With stuff like Chernobyl, there's gonna be Chernobyl 2 at some point.
It's already happened, dude.
Well, yeah, Fukushima is.
Well, there's I didn't know about this until recently. Fuck, what was it called? It was a West Virginia tunnel disaster. I learned about it recently. That Behind the Bastards podcast did like a 2-parter on it. It's a worse industrial disaster than Chernobyl, and it happened.
What about it wasn't
in America?
It wasn't that long ago where people were drinking water, and that one guy he ended up sounding like Mickey Mouse because of drinking his like contaminated tap water.
That's crazy because I work with a guy who talks like Minnie Mouse, and he just does that.
Wait, he does like a fake voice?
No, it's just how his voice sounds. Hawks Nest Tunnel Project is the deadliest industrial disaster in U.S. history, worse than Chernobyl. Yeah, read up on it. It's fucking crazy.
Okay. Send me that because I'm gonna forget.
We'll do. I'll email it to you. We're killing each other and ourselves. It's great.
Yeah. When we think about how digging out like these minerals to create these batteries for a greener future, but it just seems like, holy shit, is it really worth it? I saw a video of like these guys like mining. I'm not sure which resource it was, but like the hill was like collapsing and guys were like jumping out of the side of the hill, and like their coworkers were like trying to pull them out, and they're like covered in all this dirt. And I was like, holy shit, like this is all for our cell phones, for our electric cars. And
no, dude, it's fucking crazy because there was the long period of time where everybody, when we went in, before we went in to Iraq, we went into Afghanistan, and we, had control of this country that, everyone for years and years was like, oh, there's no oil there, there's nothing there, blah, blah, blah. And then as we're starting to get out and starting to realize it's impossible to occupy or control this country, because it was the fucking, many people have learned it over the centuries, but Afghanistan's rich with rare earth minerals, and before we got out, there was a period of time where Eric Prince, the guy who started Blackwater and whatnot, was trying to get the United States to give him mineral rights in Afghanistan so he could go in with his private military and basically just like hollow out Afghanistan for the rare earth minerals. You know who's ending up with access to that shit? Fucking China now.
I'm brushing up on my Chinese. Ni hao.
Yeah, so it's fucking crazy, man. It's wild. It's wild that a American citizen attempted to get the rights to a foreign country's minerals private to him. Whereas, if China's doing it for their national interests. They're doing it for their people. We had a guy from here trying to get us to just basically give him carte blanche to do an East India Company in Afghanistan, where he would just literally just rape the fucking land and probably poison a bunch of people. Pretty cool guys. And his sister is Betsy DeVos.
Well, I'm not surprised, because
these people are monsters, dude.
The stuff that our government has done just throughout history.
It's trash. Yeah. It's all trash. Our government's trash. Most governments trash. Tear them down. Start over.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Not in our lifetimes. We're gonna die. We're gonna die in the bondage we were born in. It's cool.
Unless the Anunnaki show up before then.
What's the Anunnaki?
From planet Nibiru, Planet X. You never heard about this?
No. What is it? What is this, a conspiracy theory or is this a religion?
It's a theory on the whole reason why we're here.
Okay.
It goes pretty deep, but I'll give you like the short version. Basically, Planet X, Planet Nibiru, the Anunnaki, they came to Earth because they needed our minerals, gold specifically, because their planet was failing. So basically, they created us, right? They like did some genetic modification to create humans, and basically we're a slave race to mine gold for them, and they come every so often to collect their gold so that they could use it to keep their planet alive. So,
okay,
it's pretty interesting.
Good for them.
It's pretty interesting. There's like there's all these like foreign like ancient tablets that corroborate this story, and then there's like all these like old like sculptures of like these giant like people with like little monkey humans in their laps, and it's pretty interesting.
Ancient alien shit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, cool, fun.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something. I'm sure there's something on the History Channel about it.
I've never really watched the History Channel, but I'll send you some links.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but. Right. But I don't know the truth. I would love to know the truth. If like some men in black would like show up and be like, yo, we're going to tell you the truth, but you just can't say anything unless we'll kill you. Like, let's go. I'm like, all right, I'm hopping in the blacked out SUV and I'm going to hear it all. Cause I'm so curious.
If you ever disappear, I'll know what happened to you.
Yeah. If I ever disappear, just
it was your choice.
No. See, that's gonna be really dark. It's not my choice. If I disappear, it's not my fucking choice. I'm not suicidal. You know, all those people who leave those notes, I'm not suicidal, and they end up killing themselves. You're like, that is really weird. They were about to expose some stuff, and then they just end up dead.
The book I'm reading right now is I'm at a section about the JFK conspiracy, and it's talking about all the people who got who died under mysterious circumstances when the House Select Committee on Assassinations was happening.
Oh man!
And one of the guys who was, I think he was the third in line from the FBI, or in the FBI during the assassination time. he apparently told somebody like weeks before. He said, "If something happens to me, know that I did not kill myself." And then he killed himself.
Yeah, it's so dark. It's so obvious too, because when like all those files come out and like so much shit is still redacted after so long, it's like that they fucking killed that guy.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's dark. I don't know if it's cool, but it's fucking dark, man.
No, nothing is cool.
Yeah,
I just don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah. So it's
all bad. Everything's bad.
Yeah, but it's scary when like shit like Epstein can like happen so publicly and nobody cares. They just sweep it under the rug. They're like, yeah, he hung himself, and then when you look at the evidence, it's like that motherfucker did not hang himself.
He broke a bone in his neck that doesn't break when you hang yourself.
Yeah, it's like clearly his fucking cellmate that they probably put him in there like on purpose with like some like ex like police officer who was like known to like murder people. It's like some big buff motherfucker. They probably like called him like, yo, kill this motherfucker, we got you for life.
I can't remember. There was a guy he was in there with who had an insanely funny Italian name who was definitely like put up. He's the guy who beat him up. Because somebody fucked him up before he killed himself, and God, I can't remember that guy's name. It was wild though.
Yeah, it's just fucking weird and dark because you think about like this guy is holding all these dark secrets, has all the money in the world, like it's fucking weird. And he's just like, all right, after all this dark shit over the years, I'm going to start, naming names. And they just got him. It's like he should have been well aware that he wasn't going to make it out alive or make it, get away from that situation.
You want to, this podcast I listen to, it's different now, but it's a little bit more like a wider scope of conspiracy and crazy corruption and shit from around the world. But this podcast TrueAnon, if you've ever heard of it,
never.
It started out as just a podcast to talk about Epstein and all the ways that stuff creeps through into our political structure, into our his connections to Bill Gates, his connections to Trump, and
Bill Clinton,
connections to Bill Barr and Bill Clinton and Chris Tucker and all the different people who
Eminem was on that list.
Eminem was on that list too.
Yeah,
I don't think I knew that. I don't think I knew that. But what's his face? Stephen Hawking was big buddy with him too. But they go into in like Lee Wexner, I think it's the I think he's the Victoria's Secret guy who more or less like
gifted them like his property in New York or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, it goes heavy into a lot of that stuff. It's pretty interesting, and it also will melt your brain.
Yeah, that's what I felt like when I watched House of Cards. I'm like, this is probably how shit.
They're just telling us what happens. Yeah, it's cool.
They're just like, here, let's just put it out there as like fiction, but I'm like, there's no way that shit doesn't happen because there's so much. Yeah, it's so corrupt.
Yeah, no, it's completely crazy. Anybody who thinks that we like, Ashton laughed at my my Thanksgiving post the other day I made from the LDB Instagram announcing the dose record. Because I was like, happy Thanksgiving. Like, try not to argue with your relatives. It's not their fault. They've been lied to their entire lives about everything. And I mean that. Like, we all have. We've been lied to our entire lives about everything. So, like...
Yeah, it blows my mind sometimes when it's like we all have like this access to information, but people just don't read anything. or
they choose to read the stuff that tells them, they're right. It's the Mexicans' fault, and
it's like this confirmation bias going on.
And trans people are trying to, make your kids hate you. Like that's the narrative they want to look at because they don't want to face the facts that they go to work for people who are exploiting them and ripping them off, and they buy and everything they've ever bought in their lives, they've been ripped off. Like. every landlord is ripping them off. Like everybody is ripping you off left and right. And it's way easier to point at somebody who you actually can't do anything to, and blame them rather than look at the people who are, shaking you down every single day of your life since you were born. That's awesome. Very cool. We always end up in this conversation too, and I'm so sorry.
No, this is America that we live in, So, and a lot of people just want to turn a blind eye. Maybe it's like their life is hard enough as it is. They don't want to talk about this dark shit. But
to me, like life is hard, but it's so much easier when you can like look at the people who are actually screwing you over. And even if you can't do anything, even if you can't vote them out, even if you can't, like, you got to pray to hope that like somebody with less to live for kills them. Like, even if like that's the only way you can imagine your life getting any better, it's so much easier when you can look at them and go, okay, I'm not crazy. That's what's wrong here. Even if I can't do anything to change it, at least I can look at that and go, that's wrong. I'll do what I need to do, but at least I know I'm not crazy, and that is what is wrong. And always think about, if you're thinking something and you're believing something, is somebody benefiting financially from you thinking what you're thinking? And evaluate whether or not you want to keep enabling them to rip you off, or if you'd like to, look for a solution that doesn't involve oppressing somebody or pushing someone else down to elevate yourself up. And I don't know, it's just, that's where I'm at all the time.
Yeah, and on top of all that, right, we're all trying to navigate through this thing we call life our own way, and it's just it's very complicated.
And that's why I have a huge issue with people who push these movies down and talk shit about them when they're literally just things to help us fucking pass the fucking time.
I don't know. This might be the roundabout way for us to fund them.
No, we should not do that.
Don't take financial advice from me. My Bitcoin is sitting fine
for now.
For now.
Oh, where were we in Marvels though? I'm trying to think. They stole the water?
No, I was bashing Dar-Benn as a villain, and her idea to steal these resources weren't going to last forever. So I thought her idea was so stupid to save Hala.
But it's because it's short-sighted, because that's what those people are. That's what religious extremists of any stripe are. They are short-sighted. They're all about maximizing brutality in order to accomplish short-sighted goals. Like authoritarians are. That is what authoritarianism is. It's getting while the getting's good, and then assuming that you're not going to live long enough to actually reap the repercussions of what you did.
Yeah, because they're going to be long gone.
Yeah, but you can excite people into this, conflict to get involved in the hopes for a better future. You very well knowing that's not there, but at least you'll get to ride.
Yeah,
your position of power.
You'll get to enjoy the benefits from all the short-term stuff, and then you're gone,
and then
somebody else will have to clean up your mess.
But yeah, so after. I'm trying to think, after that, they do their little, did they already do their training where they figure out how to flip around?
I think that was after the
water fight.
Yeah, because I think they realized, okay, like we need to figure this out so we can actually handle Dar-Benn, and
that part fucking rocks.
Yeah, I think it kind of tied up. I'm like, all right, they have to figure this out, because it was getting a little wacky. Because back on the Skrull planet, when
Kamala ends up,
she had to defy her idol because Captain Marvel was like, don't use your powers, but she was trying to do her thing and or do the right thing and try to save some of these innocent Skrulls, and I felt that was like a growing moment for Kamala, because she's so like down for Captain Marvel, but for her to go against her word, I was like, all right, this is some development here. This is cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, and that really, there was like this moment of the movie where they're doing their little training is the moment of character development that they do in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there isn't much character development. It's mostly all conflict and action. And in that moment, Monica has to forgive Carol for never coming back. Carol has to face what she did by never coming back.
And okay, so
to Monica,
this was one moment when I was just like, I hate Brie Larson's acting, because when she's talking to Photon and talking about like her mom, and she's crying, her face doesn't even look sad. There's just like tears. There's like tears running down her face, but I'm like, she looks she's like alligator tears or crocodile tears or whatever you want to call it. I'm like, she doesn't look sad, and this is really weird.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but also at the same time, like, I mean, Captain Marvel is like she isn't really like a human anymore. She is just kind of like a weapon. And I think she is still like, I mean, they go through her, she's still trying to unlock memories and unlock parts of her that got taken away, that she doesn't have that emotional bandwidth of a human being, because a lot of that got stolen from her by the Kree, to the point where she is kind of relearning how to be a human being, and having memories come back. I mean, when they're linked up in their head, she sees something and she's like, fuck, I fucking hate that, you saw that. Like, I really didn't.
That was pretty dark.
Like, I really didn't want you to like. And she's a fucking killer, dude. She's a fucking killer.
The Annihilator.
Mm-hmm. Like, she hates the nickname, but it's true. And I think this was a good movie of not glorifying Captain Marvel or her actions, but doing an Iron Man to her, like showing her how she created a villain, and she now has to pay for that. Like, it's the classic superhero story of, but also at the same time, not making what she did heroic, making it a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's got to try to, and it caused way more damage than if she had just let it fucking go. But she wanted her vengeance, and she's just not a human being altogether anymore. And so her having stone face and crying, I think, is her possibly trying to learn how to be human again, and being faced with humanity, which she doesn't really face, because she's just cordons herself off alone. Doesn't want to be a part of a team, doesn't want to let anybody in, doesn't want to care about anybody, because I don't think she thinks she has the capacity to.
That makes so much sense. I feel like that aspect of Captain Marvel.
That's why she shuts Kamala out, and her accepting Kamala in is like true growth, because she has no history with this person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this whole time I'm thinking she's still Carol Danvers, right?
No, she isn't.
And
it hasn't been in years.
Yeah. So hearing you say that definitely pulls me back to this scene where they all just get out of, like, the mind linking, and Kamala goes over to Photon to console her, and Captain Marvel's just kind of standing back, and I'm like, wait, she should have been the first one there, but then Kamala kind of like tells her, like, come on. So I'm like, okay, so now that makes way more sense to me now that I'm hearing that.
They're making her open herself up to people, and I think that was cool. Like, given, whatever, Brie Larson, I do think she plays a very similar character and everything. I do think her acting works for Captain Marvel a little bit. And even just doing this thing that I love talking about you with this, because otherwise I wouldn't think about this as much. I like this movie more right now than I did a few minutes ago.
Yeah, no. Like my issue with her acting now, I'm like, okay, maybe that's what that was intended, Yeah. So
and it's worth a rewatch to see if it hits different. Thinking about it in that context, but that's how I thought about it, because when she does finally like accept Kamala and like shows her heart to Kamala, because Kamala's showing her heart the whole time.
Yeah, Captain Marvel sees it when she gets blipped into her room, and I say blip, that's not the right term, but when she gets jumped, or I don't know whatever to call it, but she sees like all of the fan art, shuffled. She sees all the fan art of her, and she's like, oh, this person really likes me.
But yeah, and I think that growth in the story is awesome, and I think that's why that part is. I mean, other than the shuffle fights are awesome.
Yeah.
They look great. The choreography is great. That fight in the elevator
Mm-hmm.
when Kamala and Monica keep landing in that elevator with her parents
Mm-hmm.
fighting, that part is so fucking cool looking. And I don't know, I really like the shuffle fights, but that whole part where they're training to shuffle better,
Yeah.
only for it to go away almost immediately.
Yeah.
After they
all that training and they barely even got to use it.
barely get to use it. They fix it like pretty quickly after that. But regardless, I thought that part was such an awesome moment of bonding and they also are having fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I just love that,
We never get to see the characters have fun in these movies. It's always just serious the whole time. And I thought
feel
that
like,
was
yeah,
cool.
I feel like outside of Guardians, right? Because
Yeah.
James Gunn,
They're always goofing around.
weaves that in really well. But so, but yeah, and I just love that Kamala had to just kind of like endure like and take that all in, and she's like, wow, this is a lot, because you got to think she's like this young kid and she got to see all this crazy stuff, and she probably got to see another side of her idol that she never thought she'd get to see, which is pretty crazy. And then you get to see like, oh shit, like we're still getting to see how the blip, like the actual
Affects
blip
people. Yeah.
is affecting the universe. And there's not much left with the blip that like After Effects. I feel like they've covered so much from it. So to see that still having an effect, I'm like, oh shit, this like had such a big impact. And it was,
and I will say, because my mom hasn't watched any of the shows, I did think they did a pretty good job of like summing up Monica and Kamala to a certain extent, with Kamala's comic, and then with Monica with the brainwave moment.
oh yeah, 100%. It gives you such a better idea.
Yeah, my mom really like kind of followed it without having to need to see that stuff, even though it adds so much context and it is worth watching.
Yeah.
Because she did a good job of weaving it in.
Yeah, because Photon even says how she got her powers.
Yeah. And I thought that scene was awesome. And I think, are we at final fight now?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and also like really like too how you talked about Darben earlier being like a natural disaster type thing, because for a villain didn't get a whole lot of screen time, which I was like completely okay with, and I don't think they needed.
I don't think she was the villain. It was the situation that Captain Marvel created was the villain.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been anybody. The thing is, if it wasn't Darben, it would have been some other person. Or some other Kree person. She wasn't the important thing. It was the Kree.
Yes, somebody, the Kree representative. Yeah.
Yes, the Kree. Yeah, the representative of the extremist Kree. That was all they needed. And for a villain who didn't get their character developed very much, they did make you really not like them.
Yeah, I anytime I saw
very bad shit.
Anytime I saw her face, I was like, I hate this bitch. Get her off screen.
Yeah, she fucked people up. She killed a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah, but that
was
only because of that damn bracelet. She didn't have shit before that bracelet. She's just a weak ass.
She smashed some people's heads.
God, okay. The fight scene. It was cool. I don't know. Wasn't the biggest fan of Darben, but I get it. I just felt like they could have just whooped her a lot easier, but whatever, she could absorb Captain Marvel's power, so that gave her like a huge advantage.
That was their way of, and also just having the Kamala effect in the movie was Captain Marvel can't just walk up to her and break her fucking neck. Mm-hmm. She has to worry about this child who might get killed in the crossfire, and yeah, no, that was also, I didn't even think about the absorbing Captain Marvel's power and it being like, and being able to redirect it too. Like that was a way to pull Carol down to a normal level of power rather than letting her be
because
this unstoppable monster.
She didn't want to empower Darben to be like on the same level as her. But
yeah, no, it was cool though when she's in that moment and she's like, yo, just I'll go and I'll try to fix things. And Carol's like literally has to go, I'm wrong. What I did was wrong. I'm sorry.
Because
And Dar-Ben's still like, fuck you. No, I
Yeah.
want to kill you.
Because Captain Marvel legitimately thought she was doing the right thing,
Yeah.
not
And
knowing
then
she
had
was.
yeah. Fucking it all up.
Yeah, but that is scary, right? You got to think this planet's being controlled by AI.
Mhm. No, it's not good. But rather than destroy it, it would have been the more complimentary thing would have been to go and convince people to oppose it.
Yeah, I feel like she could have been like a little more diplomatic and been like, isn't there like a better solution? Or couldn't she have like brought in someone smarter with like technology?
Yeah. Instead, she just destroyed it and just said, all right, good luck, guys.
Yeah, and then it's like nobody asked for it. They're like,
And killed a lot of people on the way in too. Like it's but yeah, no, but I like that moment where like she has to face it all, apologize, and then offer her help in trying to fix her mistake. And then Dar-Ben is like, lies to her. Like, yeah, totally. And then
she got suckered.
she crosses her and then she fucks herself, dude.
Well, I didn't like the scene because this is like the one time I'm like, oh shit, when she got Kamala on the ground, and she had like the hammer on her head, and Captain Marvel was like, no, she had to like stand down because she realized like, all right, she's like, am I gonna do something stupid and get this girl killed, or am I gonna have to figure it out? And I don't know. I was like, after all of this, just for the villain to basically kill themselves.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, is that's that lust for power, that lust for, I mean, it's what kills Ronan too.
Yeah, he couldn't handle.
He does the same thing. All these so many of these galactic villains, you know, off-world villains, alien villains, are seeking a power that they can't comprehend nor control, and it leads to them destroying themselves. And man, just be happy with what you got. It's the Sheryl Crow song, you know. It's not about what you want, it's about wanting what you got.
Yeah, because it's true. There's a lot of times in our lives where we don't realize what we have till it's gone, you know.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I thought that was cool. And then, you know, the thing the big complaint I've seen about the end is, why did Monica have to go to the other side to close it? But I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah, because in my, you know, I'm not a scientist, but I'm thinking, okay, what makes the other side, you know, different from the side that you're on? You could have just used the powers and closed it.
I mean, I guess it's easier to push a hole closed than pull a hole closed. And if it was the way it was ripping into the other side, but at the same time, it's like, you know what, whatever. I don't care. I'm with the Captain Marvel ending up on the ship from Earth that fast.
Mm-hmm.
I go, you know what, it's a movie, whatever. I'll just let it roll. With this, I was like, whatever, it's a movie. I'll just let it roll. It makes what happens after this way more interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So Photon sacrifices herself, and then it's all sad, whatever. But after that scene, Kamala doesn't have both bracelets anymore, and this is where like I'm like, continuity error, because on the ship she has both bracelets, but then after, when Captain Marvel comes back, she's only wearing one.
Yeah, I don't know why she didn't put the other one on.
They never explain why she went back down to one, where the second bracelet is, and I was just like, I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, in the fucking just adding context to the movie that wasn't given to us, maybe it was smarter to keep them separated so that nobody would try to take that power.
But if Kamala's wearing both and she's that powerful, who's going to take it?
Well, the thing is that Kamala isn't even really that powerful because of the bracelets. It's that power is in her.
Yeah. No, that's why she's able to wear both and not explode like Dar-Ben. Because she put on both, remember? She put on both.
But again, maybe it's just smarter to have them both separate, or maybe Kamala's hiding the other one and only wearing one so that Nobody can take both of them from her.
But if she's wearing both, nobody's stepping to Kamala. She would be super powerful. That was one thing where I was just so like,
maybe this is a Nick Fury decision, one that we can be angry about.
Yeah, just made no sense to me because they didn't talk about the bracelets. It was just like, all right, that part of like the bracelets story is gone, right? And I was like, all right, this is weird. We're gonna completely ignore that. But then after that, why did her family leave New Jersey?
To move to Louisiana?
Yeah, I'm like,
no idea.
You could, because this is in the comic book. That's what I was talking about. This isn't the comic book, but like she's New Jersey.
Yeah.
So for her to move to Monica's house, I'm just like, I get it. Like the house is destroyed, but how Shield pay for anyone?
Maybe just till their remodel's done, they'll go back to New Jersey. But yeah, no, I don't understand what they're doing with taking Kamala Khan, New Jersey's street level hero, out of New Jersey
to the swamps of Louisiana.
What's she gonna do there besides not be able to get a loan, just like just like Sam Wilson?
But I love that her and Captain Marvel have that moment where they go into the airplane, and she's like, yeah, she's like, I don't have the keys. She's like, I'm just watching it. And then Kamal's like, yeah, like you're watching until Monica gets back, because they're not accepting that she's gone.
Yeah.
Even though they don't know like what happened to her. And I was like, I love that they're not willing to give up on her, that they're keeping her spirit alive. I think that meant a lot.
It was a sweet ending. And that's the thing, is where I think this movie wasn't, not the fucking best Marvel movie. Nowhere near the fucking worst, though.
No.
I put this above Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I think I definitely enjoy it more than the first one.
I put this above Captain Marvel. This is one of the few sequels to in quotes to any of these movies that I think surpasses the first one, the other one being Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like just a good war movie.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where it gets really fun. So movie ends, whatever the movie is. Movie is, it fucking ends. That was fun. But I love, right, when I saw, you see the silhouette of a person walking and they have a bow on their back. I was like, okay, fuck yeah, because I love Hawkeye, right? I love Clint Barton. I love Kate Bishop. So when you see that shot of, because like at first you don't see it, you don't see her, but you see the silhouette and you know who it is. So I'm like, fuck yeah, this is sick. And then she throws the pizza to the dog, and then she's like, "Can I help you?" And
I love that she had the Band-Aids too.
Yeah, because she's out doing some crazy shit. But
she's so awesome, dude.
But the fact that they play, or that Kamala's playing the Nick Fury role, just like when Nick Fury pulls up on Iron Man to start the Avengers, for anyone who remembers way back when, I'm like, all right, this is fun. And she's totally stealing all of his lines. And
yeah, it's awesome.
And I love this because she had the little pad that I don't know, she purposely put it under the couch to keep it because it had a ton of information that I'm sure she's curious about. But when she's just talking, just that interaction, I'm like, fuck yeah, this is so cool, because I love both characters, and then just that quick mention of Cassie Lang, I'm like, all right, this is cool. I'm ready for another new team.
Yeah. No, and I like all these characters too. Yeah. Like, I like Kamala a lot. I liked Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop.
I love her. Yeah.
I thought she was great. She's so funny. And I like the girl who's playing, Happy Death Day is awesome. I really like the girl who
both of them are awesome. Lang.
She's fucking awesome. So one of the better parts of Quantumania was her. So I'm very pumped for this. And there's, I guess people are thinking that what's his face, the Black Captain America's son or grandkid is I think he's Patriot, the from Falcon and Winter Soldier, the old
I'm totally drawing a blank.
the old Captain America that Sam Wilson gets to meet and realize that there has been a black Captain America before, the guy who had all the experiments done on him.
Oh, the guy who's in the hood. They're like, oh, you need to go talk to him.
Yep. Isaiah Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
His grandson, who we meet in Falcon and Winter Soldier, people are thinking he's going to be roped back in because he gets powers. I watched a explainer or whatever about him, and he uses like a serum that's like a temporary, gives you like super strength, and pretends like he's got the same powers as his granddad, and he's lying. And then he gets super fucked up and needs a blood transfusion. And then he gets a blood transfusion, and then he actually gets the powers from the blood transfusion with his grandpa.
That sounds stupid. I mean, we don't.
It sounds like Marvel. It sounds like Marvel Comics to me.
We don't need another new character right now. This is okay. Check this out. Okay, bring in Miles Morales. This is who we need on the Young Avengers. Miles Morales would be.
I'm not opposed to that either.
Because and I say don't bring another new character, and here comes another new character, but somehow pull him from like the animated universe.
Well, people are thinking Hulk's son's going to be in it too.
Yeah, it should be Amadeus Cho, like like another Hulk from the comic books, not Hulk's son. But anyways, that's probably not going to happen. But bring in Miles Morales. I think that would be amazing.
It would rock. It would rock. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying no.
Yeah.
But I am saying I do like the Captain America presence on a team. I do like someone with just super strength, and it would be fun to have it be a kid who's not sure of themselves yet.
Isn't that Kamala Khan?
What?
Isn't that Kamala Khan? No. All right.
I guess. No, she's pretty sure of herself. She's pretending to be Nick Fury. She's pretty sure of herself.
Just grab Miles, grab the Hulk kid from She-Hulk, for anyone who watched She-Hulk, and then grab Nova. We'll do a young Nova. And then because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean 5 or 6 is enough.
Yeah. Because it's going to be hard, right? Because with like if you look at like a 6-member team, right? If there's Cassie Lang, who could be Stature, or I'm not sure which direction they're going to go with Cassie Lang, but Cassie Lang, Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, Kamala Khan, and then you're going to have to find some way to introduce or get more of an introduction to the Hulk kid. I don't even know what his name's going to be.
Is it Scar?
I don't know. I did zero research on that kid, if I'm being honest.
I think they said his name's Scar.
And then, you know what would be crazy? Black Panther's son. Imagine.
Oh yeah, I know that'd be
crazy. Yeah. Okay.
That would rock.
Yeah. There's options.
That would be super cool. No. Yeah. No. That would be fucking cool as shit. Yeah. I don't know, but I think also the Young Avengers could be a rotating team. I don't think it has to be.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, because just like the Avengers, there's a rotating cast. Like basically, like
whoever's available.
Yeah, most if you're a Marvel superhero, you're definitely probably like an Avenger at some point. So
yeah, no. So no, that was cool. And then, dude,
the real post credit scene.
The fucking post credit scene went crazy.
Yeah, so Photon wakes up. And this was kind of sad, right? She wakes up in this bed and she looks over to her left and she sees her mom and she starts calling her mom. And because you got to think, she didn't get to see her mom pass because she blipped out. And that's just heartbreaking. So can you imagine you wake up in this strange place and you see someone who looks like your mom? So you're obviously going to start calling her mom because you fucking miss your mom. And she's just kind of like, oh, what? Like, what are you talking about? And you're just like, and that's when it clicked. I'm like, oh shit, she's in a different reality. And I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen next? And then we see this blue furry guy walk by in a lab coat, and I just lost my shit. I'm like, this is it.
Dude, me too. My jaw fucking dropped. I looked at that and I was like, oh my god. And then to hear Kelsey Grammer's voice too was fucking. Fucking awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
because because there's always this talk. How are they going to tie in the X-Men? Is it going to be from the quantum realm, or is it they just awoken some X gene in the universe, or how? And it's like, no, this is how she crossed over to like a parallel reality, and I'm just like, this is so fucking sick because X-Men's fucking iconic. So to see someone from the X-Men like in
looking like the cartoon version,
but also in like this, because like in a parallel reality, right? So not another universe. So this is like, all right, this is like so much more real than what we saw in Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And for him to just be talking to her mom, like, oh, like what's up with our mysterious guest? And then she's like, where am I? And just the way he breaks it down, he just explains it to her like spot on how she got to their reality. And I the gears are just turning in my head. I'm like, this is so sick because we're just so much closer to X-Men Marvel Studios movie, and that's all I've ever wanted.
Dude, the door, man. How geeked were you on the fucking door?
Yeah, because I thought they were just in some hospital, but when it panned out and you see the giant X on the door, I'm like,
God, dude, I was
like, open the door, somebody else walk in. I was like, I want more of this shit.
Yeah. God, it's so cool. I can't wait for whatever is coming with that, man.
But
whoever they bring back, I'm fucking fine with. Whoever they recast, I'm fucking fine with. Just make them look right.
Yeah, but then her mom gets up, right? Because she was like, you don't really get to see much of her, and then she gets up, and you're like, oh shit, she's a superhero. She's binary in this reality, and she has the bracelets that Kamala had. She was wearing them in that reality. So like, okay.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she was wearing both bracelets.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't even pick up that part. That's sick.
Yeah, so you're like, this lady's really powerful. But she was just so like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
And then Monica's just like, shit. Because she's just realizing too, like, I survived, closing the tear in space, but now I ended up in another reality. Like, what's gonna happen? But luckily, she's in really good hands, right? She's with the fucking X-Men.
Dude, what the fuck X-Men? I mean, who knows? She might not be in really good hands. She might end up in a fight that kills her.
No, Beast broke it down. He's gonna be the one to be like, yo, fam, she's chill. We found her. She came here through this way, so let's figure this out.
Oh, I just mean she might be out superhero with the X-Men and be in severe danger a lot because.
Oh, she's gonna be fighting along, so she's gonna have to. Yeah. Well, she can fight Magneto. He's not gonna be able to control her.
Dude, what a fucking it's just awesome. It was an awesome expansion on this world.
That was the post credit that we've needed
cool.
And I was just like, this is amazing.
I hate that this is bombing because I think that Eternals was so much worse than this.
But
Thor 4 was worse than this.
But this is just like Marvel's finally getting the DC treatment, right? Because DC movies would come out, like Suicide Squad 2, not that bad of a movie, but
it is a awesome movie.
Yeah, but just because they see the DC banner, it's like trash, right? And like so now that's the new wave. It's like, okay, Marvel's now trash, but it's like, no, go out and experience it. It's not that bad. Like I was expecting dog shit, but I was like, I think they just got just an unfair shake. And I think, and Brie Larson, the community hates her. They don't want her as Captain Marvel.
Yeah. But again, it's not their fault that they don't want her, and it's not her fault either. It's the internet.
Yeah.
And the way this toxic culture, and also just the way people are just like becoming awful.
Mm-hmm.
People are just like becoming awful, and the loudest voices are getting the most attention, and they are fucking awful. The fact that dude, I know you watched that Nerdrotic guy's breakdown on this shit. You should watch some of the people breaking down how awful and gross this culture is and what parts these guys are playing in perpetuating this, because it's pretty sickening how influential their voices are in these nerd communities, and how many people are being legitimately like radicalized. Like these people are speaking to the incels. These people are speaking to the to these closeted racists and homophobes and misogynists who've had to, through whatever fucking, whatever opportunities they think have been, given to people who didn't deserve them based on these diversity and inclusion measures and whatnot, even though they cannot for 1 second just step back and think like, maybe it's the whole system that promotes this need for diversity and inclusion, because for so long women were shut out and gay people were fired and like black people were able to be paid less or treated worse, or insults be muttered under their breath at them. Like that has never happened to me, but these people they want to be victims so fucking bad that they are willing to listen to anybody who scratches that itch that they have. And it's these guys who have such a fucking platform to tell all these fucking white fucking slobs, you're right. It isn't your fault. It's all of these people's fault. You're beautiful and wonderful, and you should be bequeathed on you a woman who will do the dishes and cook the dinner for you. And without even thinking for 1 second that you don't get paid enough to support another fucking person like that, that you just, I don't know, this undeserved fucking sense that these people like are owed something from this world, but they think other people deserve less than they do. And it's these guys who are fucking feeding that fire. They're feeding that fire and they're making money off of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I watched,
gross.
I watched that Nerdrotic guy not knowing that he was like serious. I was like, okay, I was like, I can see like his jokes. I'm like, all right, this is a little too much. And that's why I had to turn it off. And then when you told me like what like his thing really was, I'm like, oh shit, that's why I didn't enjoy it. I was like, this is fucking, I was like, okay, a joke here and there, I get it. But when it was just like the whole thing, I'm like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I watched his video. I watched a video of his. I want to say it might have been like 5 years ago when it wasn't as bad as it is now. And I was like, I think this is fucked up. And then I like watched a couple more things and I was like, oh no. And then that's when I've been keeping tabs on that dude for years. Every few months I'll search like Nerdrotic reaction video. And I'll watch somebody like go in and like break down this video and like talk about how like, dude, there's like a whole like hour long fucking like group podcast YouTube video thing that they did on Blue Beetle. It is so fucking racist. It's crazy. It is so crazy how racist they are towards this movie. And one of the and yet they call the movie racist. They say the movie is racist, and all the things that they're accusing the movie of doing, that is like they accuse it of tokenizing, they accuse it of doing all these different things to like exploit like Mexican people, and like they're like upset with all these different aspects of the movie or whatever, but they're really just showing their own ass, because when they're having issues basically with like being exposed to a different culture, and it's clear that's what their issue is. They're like making fun of the movie. They're like, they're always eating tacos. They're always eating tacos and like all this shit, and they're like having all these fucking issues with it. And it's like, and I watched like a Mexican guy like talking about it. He's like, they're eating tacos because they're Mexican people, and we eat tacos.
Yeah, it's very normal in a Mexican household.
Like, and then they like go in. They're like to do a different thing in Miss Marvel. They're eating this because this is what Pakistani people like. This isn't like out of bounds. Like this is just representation of a culture, actually representing them, and not just tokenizing it. Like being written and told from this perspective. And I don't know, man, it's just, it really, I hate it. I hate it more than anything. It's my least favorite thing in the world. This lack of media literacy that people have, that they think that everything they see on the internet's right or true, and they never once think to like look a little deeper into like, well, what is this person's ulterior motive to me thinking this? And that guy's is you making him money, telling you what you want to hear about how women are bad.
Yeah,
That's very fucked up.
Yeah, I can't believe I got. I was.
No, it just comes up, dude. It just comes up in the algorithm.
Well, yeah, because I was doing like a Captain Marvel, deep dive, and I was obviously New Rockstars was my first stop, and I was just from there. I was like, all right, cool. Let me watch every Captain Marvel and see what people are saying before I go watch it. Because I was curious, and then I landed on that guy's shit, and I was like, this is making me uncomfortable. If I'm being honest, I was like, this is
and
fucking
if it's
weird.
any consolation, at least all the channels that both of us watch about where these dorks go in on these things and break them down with love and attention and care, these guys never get mentioned on that guy's fucking show, and they never the two shall meet, because I think they know if they were to bring up shit about him, there would be all these little fucking trolls coming over and causing a ruckus on their videos in their comment section, because the people who make videos critiquing this guy, they end up with all these little trolls coming over to their comment section telling them to kill themselves and stuff, because that's the way it is. And they've got a legitimate army of people who are willing to do their bidding on the internet, and it's
fucking sad. That's weird.
Power corrupts.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
I just want to make people mosh.
Yeah, that's your superpower. I'd have a different superpower, but
what would your superpower be?
Have you ever seen Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Okay. So Goku goes and learns a technique called instant transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that teleportation or whatever.
Yeah. So I think that'd be cool. Not too overpowered. Awesome. I could be.
We could do these podcasts in person.
I want to do one soon. We're gonna do one soon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm very excited. The fest is gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I heard you have news to break.
I don't think I have news to break. I can say the fest isn't LDB Fest. Okay. It is something else, because Alex and Ryan are having to take a year off from doing the fest. So Colin and Sam Yarmouth are doing a fest. I'm going to help any way I can or need to. But yes, it's people are coming together to do a fest while Ryan and Alex can't because of health and personal reasons right now. With Ryan just being so busy with Gates, and Alex, for some people know, for years has had like a laundry list of health issues, and there have been benefits to help her get by in times when she can't work, for different things that are going on with her. And she just doesn't have the spoons for it this year. So they were going to take a year off. So this is just something to supplement the year. And then LDB Fest in its full form will be back the next year, but this year will not be any less of an enterprise as previous years. It's just not. It's not the LDB Fest that has always been. It's something else for a year, and then it should go back to your regular scheduled programming. But this year is going to be good. It's going to be very, very good.
Yeah, they've given away a clear hint for anybody who's been paying attention to like their post, like their original post on like their story.
I honestly, Ashton's reposted the things, but I didn't look at any of them. What was the hint?
They posted like the announcement of like Triple B and Sam being a part of it, but there was Hatebreed music attached to it.
Oh,
and people were commenting, wait, is this a Hatebreed giveaway? And they were responding to those comments. I think that was a clear giveaway.
That could be happening. I don't know. I'm excited. There are a couple LDB bands that are playing that I'm excited about.
Just tell everybody right now.
I don't want to. I don't know what I can say.
No, I'm just kidding.
I
know. I'm just kidding.
It's not my fest, but everybody. I mean, it's going to be the same venue as last year. Again, I'm hoping, and I'm saying it out loud as much as I can. I hope they do the little sub stage thing in front of the stage, like Sound and Fury did, to keep people from breaking 30 something ankles that got broken last year, or as many concussions that happened last year. But yeah, it's going to be awesome, and everybody should come. Pack the corners. Don't run away when people are on stage diving. Sing along. I may or may not be playing this year. Okay. And whether or not there's a pre-show or not, I may or may not be playing that as well in a new band.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it because I'm actually going this year.
Did you get early bird tickets already?
No.
You should get early bird tickets, dude. Save you some money.
I should, but there's a couple trips in between, so
you do not have to worry about transit or lodging.
Okay.
Just get your tickets.
All right.
You will ride to the fest with me. You will ride home with me, and you will sleep right there.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I will be there. I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Okay.
But
yeah, it's gonna be good.
But it should be fun. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
I will say they have some bands playing that I cannot believe are playing Louisville. So very excited.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of, we're done with Marvels right now?
Yeah, I think we're done with Marvels. And okay, and I want to just put a disclaimer. There is a holiday thing. I did mention that. Oh, it's so sad there's no holiday thing. But people were hitting me up saying, "Oh, what if season 2?" That is happening, but they're dropping an episode every week until the new year, so we can just cover that in the new year.
Wait, what is it?
What if season 2?
Oh shit! I forgot about that's coming too.
Yeah, that starts next month.
Oh damn!
Yeah. So unless we could wait till the new year, or if you want to go every week, whatever you want to do.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do one for every 2 or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
That would be fun because
and remember season 1 of What If, some of that shit actually happened in the MCU, like the movies. So
it's crazy. I like this is the first season of What If. I was texting you trying to get you to watch it.
No, you're the reason I watched it. So
I was like, dude, it's like actually fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's happening next month.
Oh yeah. Damn, I forgot that was coming too. So yeah, that'll be some Marvel stuff to get us through. But yeah, no, dude. Things are cool right now. Everything's cool right now. Marvels was cool. Loki was cool.
Yeah.
Shit for nerds is looking up at the moment, I think. And everybody should celebrate that and not be such whiny little pussies about everything.
Yeah, because there was a time when we didn't have anything.
Of this shit.
Yeah, so I'm super grateful. And this is part of the fun, right? This ride of these ups and downs, because as great as it would be to, always get these bangers, not everything can be perfect. So I like the Marvels didn't hate it, but it makes me appreciate, the better movies when they actually happen.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think, I mean, even the movies I'm saying the Marvels is better than the Marvels is better than Eternals. Given I don't think there's anything salvageable about Eternals.
Blade's coming.
Well, yeah, a voice in Eternals that is not salvaging the fucking whole 2 hours of film.
I hope. Okay, I hope at some point someone addresses like the giant, celestial that's in the on planet Earth.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I don't care.
Even if it's like a throwaway line, like Nick Fury's like, send a text. Did you get that celestial off planet or whatever? Something. Yeah. I don't know.
Do whatever you want. Make a second Eternals, whatever. I'll see it. If it's better than the first one, I'll say it. But
it can't be worse. Could it be worse?
I don't know. I can't imagine. But yeah, no, Marvel's is good. It's better than some things, and even saying it's better than Thor 4, I still thought Christian Bale was awesome in Thor 4. So there's something to like about all these things. And if you want to just focus on negative and hate everything, then
Yeah, that's
have fun with your life, dude. I hope it's not that long.
Yeah. There's too much good to be negative when it comes to the MCU, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's also there's too much good. There's too much good art, music, television, film to spend your whole life just being a fucking hater, dude.
Yeah, I can't really have sympathy for this kind of people because there's so many things in this world that I feel like people can go to better their lives, right? Like,
yeah, and there's so many more like I'm lost on the word right now. We've been talking for too long. I'm running out of words. But there's so many things that are like more deserving of your hate.
Yeah.
Than a fucking Marvel movie.
I agree. And yeah, because dude, sometimes I get frustrated because I'll talk to people and they're just so hung up on certain things. I'm like, dude, it's not that deep.
Like, reserve that hate for your government. Reserve that hate for your boss. Reserve that hate for your, I don't know, your ex.
Yeah, it's like, why are you going so hard on a movie? That's this is for entertainment. If you don't like it, just turn it off. Figure it out.
Reserve that hate for people who actually negatively impact your life. Movie does not. Movie is supposed to just make you smile, make you cry, make you laugh, make you scared. Let them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let them do that. And if they suck, let them do that.
Yeah, or go watch a movie you like because
or if they suck, find a way to like how much it sucks. Like, we had fun watching Morbius. It sucked.
Yeah. We broke it down, and that's why I think whether the movie is going to be good or bad, I know at the end of it we're doing this, which is I think the cherry on top. This is what I love. These are so fun.
Yeah, no, dude, it's talking with your friends. Just appreciate all these things and do them with people as much as you can. And I hope I don't know. I hope people, if they've listened to this long and you've listened to the whole fucking podcast, I hope you talk to your friends the way me and Jamie talk to each other.
Yeah, I hope so too. Go call your friend. Go text your friend. Go catch up. Figure it out.
Called Jim Barron the other day. Tried to talk to him for 10 minutes. On the phone for 45.
Shout out Jim Barron. Go listen to Two Witnesses.
Dude, fuck yeah. I'm excited. They may or may not be playing with us, so come out, Mosh.
I will be there. Well, this was awesome. Tyler, we'll be back at some point, whether it's December, whether it's January. We'll figure it out. This has been awesome. We've been on the line for a couple hours at this point. Is there anything that you want to say that we haven't covered before we go?
No. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
All right. Happy Thanksgiving. That was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you, Tyler. This was awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back sooner than you think. Goodbye.